beautiful song that came out of our trip to Ireland a year and a half ago now, and it's just a beautiful song that really encapsulates the trip from beginning to end that we took with Brave Worship and Ray and Denise Hughes. We were all in on a co-write together, and a lot of us didn't know each other, and all of us had never written together. I mean, it was really beautiful what God can do, when we're just all in one space, just surrendered and submitted to what the Lord wants to do. And it was really birthed out of a scripture, actually, that Pastor Noel was talking about, and it was out of Song of Solomon, where it's talking about how the winter is over, but that it was the time of singing has come. And something in my heart jumped, because what everybody didn't know is that I had done an album 10 years prior to that called The Time of Singing Has Come, and I was like, what? Nobody knows this scripture. Nobody talks about this scripture.
Yeah, so we kind of split into co-write groups, and we had Rob Duff. He's the son-in-law of Noel from the church.
Yes.
And so we were kind of talking through what would we write about that day, and we just landed on that idea. And it was really neat because we were even a couple hours into the co-write even, but then there was just one thing kind of not clicking fully until Rob all of a sudden just said, I know, the winter is gone, the time of singing has come. And in that moment in a co-write, when it happens, there's cheering, there might be some dance moves. It's very exciting. So we cheered, and then we shared the song later with our group that was there. And it was just so neat to see Rob even declaring that.
He was all in.
He was all in. And then the next Sunday at church, we led it, and it just really connected. And so it was just a blessing to be a part of. And it really did resonate with that community too, because remember Pastor Noel talked about how when he was a boy in Ireland, there was just a lot of singing and joy. And then actually drug addiction and heroin kind of took over that town. And so he just felt like the Lord was encouraging him that, like, okay, it's time to put that behind. Singing is coming back to Ireland. And
right.
So we just really have a heart for the church, the voice to be restored to the church.
Totally.
This is a song actually spoken to the church, basically saying, arise, church, the time of singing has come.
When you hear the bridge, just kind of have this in your thoughts. So when we're saying from the north to the south, ring out your freedom. That whole ring out your freedom was when St. Patrick was ringing the bells of freedom. So there's a lot of history, and there's a lot of depth in this. And it says, into the east and the west, the goodness of God. There's a lot of factions, as many of you know, between the north and south of Ireland. But even to bring that into now, into today, what's going on in the world, there's just so much uncertainty. There's so much rest. This song actually has such a greater meaning for all of us, even as, we've been recording it here, even last night, just declaring to the north and the south, Lord, would you, as we declare freedom, Lord, would you ring out your freedom to the east and the west, the goodness of God. So when you guys when you're hearing that, or when you're singing that, or singing it with your churches, just imagine standing on the hill of Tara. If you have a chance, Google that and just look at the hill of Tara. When you're standing on that hill, we could see the north, the south, we could see the east and the west, and that's the place where we're declaring out louder and louder and farther, God, would you come and would you do what only you can do?
It's beautiful.